things today. It's about the stuff that I believe is still out there in the market and can be bought very cheap. And when I say very cheap, I'm talking about maybe $20 an ounce-ish. Perhaps less. I mean, if you're a picker out at garage sales, you could easily pick something like this up for $1, maybe $2, and there it's probably, I don't know, half an ounce, so easily worth maybe 12 bucks. But you know, this stuff has intrinsic value, and that's why I keep it around. You know, if silver goes way down, you know, there's still a use for this. It's a beautiful piece, and you know, you can pick this up for scrap if you're paying you know, good money for scrap. You get a lot of really nice stuff that you just can't hardly bear to scrap it. And you know, the same way in the gold, but in the gold, you a lot of times, especially nowadays, you know, who can afford to hold all the great pieces of gold that they get because of the prices? The investment required. But you know, this other silver stuff, you can that's not supposed to be in there. You can afford to hang on, that you can still find deals in, and although, you know, to scrap some of this stuff is it's a lot of work, very time consuming, so you know, you can get it rather cheaply. And you want to watch these big pieces like this. Now this is an extremely heavy, I don't know, maybe 5 ounces or something, silver bracelet, and it's got these huge varietal gemstones in here. I have found that these stones a lot of times will have a filler behind here, and that this here is very similar to like those candlesticks, although in most cases not that thin. I have seen it that thin, but there would be a either just like a mud or a powder or a plaster back in behind these, so you want to try to allow for that. And basically for scrap silver, you can't pay a lot for that. I mean, you have no idea. You maybe pay 2.5 ounces for it. If you're buying really close to market on a big piece like this, then you must require it to be cleaned, or you must dock them accordingly, and you must dock them in your favor, unless you're just you know, wanting the piece, or if you're just weighted. These are these tennis bracelets, and I would say there's probably 20 or 30 of them in this box, and some of them are really nice. Some of them are tarnished up like silver gets, clean, and not a good seller, and I don't have an answer. You know, I buy a lot of them and scrap very few of them. I've got more boxes of this kind of stuff. A lot of times this is collectible stuff. This here's a really nice Navajo artist type silver necklace. Seemed like to me when silver got up there around $25–30 an ounce that your collectors have just not moved up with that increase and have pretty much stopped buying for the most part. You see a lot of silver rings with an inlay or an overlay of gold on the faces of them and whatnot. And there's probably for that. Most of the time, it's not worth your consideration. You buy it as silver, and you let it go at that. Now later on, if you want to save some of those back or whatever, you can tear that piece of gold off, and put the gold with your gold, and put your silver with your silver. Now this ring is extremely nice, and it would just scrap that for a little bit of nothing. So I would recommend that you try to keep good old antique pieces like that, and although this one's not worth a lot, and this cameo piece in here is what I call them. I don't know if that's the official. It's a carved gemstone. In the case of this one, it's I believe that's the tiger eye carved cab. And you do pick up a lot of these. You see a lot of those carved gemstones in gold rings, and I save them. I suggest you save them too. You get 50 of those things. You're talking quite a nice little chunk of change to just stick them on eBay or sell them to a dealer towards jewelry parts. Here's matching earrings for that necklace. But there's a lot of labor and art work in these pieces, and here's one I'll show you. And by the way, a lot of that gold overlay stuff is Peruvian. It'll say Peru on it, and some of that is marked 18 karat gold and sterling. And you can pull that little 18 off of there. I really like those Peruvian pieces. This is not one of them, it's Mexican. But I think there's quite a bit of value in the gold on those. So if I was you, I'd just buy them as silver and throw them back, and maybe someday, probably real soon, gold will be at $5 grand, and that sterling pen is now worth a lot more. About these cheap old Mexico Taxco. You see a lot of different markings on these. Now this one's marked in several places, and this is one of the Taxco. This is quite collectible stuff. I think there's a lot less buyers than there are pieces, and this is an exceptionally nice one. The stonework, it is not jade, I'm sure, but it's very similar to a jade stone. It's extremely nice on that one. It's usually not that nice, and usually not that color. But this one I'm sure is okay, but you see it, and I don't have another example of them because, to tell you the truth, I usually stick them on eBay in lots and sell them. But you'll get some of them that they look gray, and see how this one's pretty shiny, and you'll even see them that look shiny like that too. And there's no real rule to be a rule of thumb on those, but maybe to smell them is the best. And this one here, it may be a lower, maybe an 800.